Alright, we're going to try this again. The first time around it didn't work, so I'm going to go through it quick here. So for this task, we were assigned with um, uh, creating an application in Angular which displayed nearby restaurants using the Foursquare API, and then displayed nearby recipes, or rather recipes in general, using the edamame API. And what I did was use the given starter code, which did combine the APIs in a single application, and I changed up a bit of the UI since I did use that starter code. So moving on to the code right here, let's go to, let's see. So all I really had to change was within the search component. And if I go to search-recipe.component.ts, my get venues function is what takes care of all the functionality. Here's where I take care of recipe values. If the user's input of a recipe value is not equal to null, then I make this get request, and I put in the URL that is given in the API, plus the recipe value that the user put in, plus the rest of the URL, and then this describe function here, which is part of the API. And here I make my recipe list based on the hits that come up in this API's function. And I do a very similar thing for the place, which, like, place you can think of as restaurant, so place value. As long as it's not null or not empty or anything, I do a similar thing where I call it http.get, and I use this given API within Foursquare. It's a pretty long one, and then I add in the user's input of place value, and I query that again with the API's URL, and I again create a list based on the hits that we get within the API. So just seeing how this works real quick. Where are we at here? I might need to run ngserve real quick. Yes. So bear with me for just a moment here. Typo, ngserve. We'll get this to running. And I'll open this while I can, because sometimes the host ports will change based off whether you use the one that the terminal gives you or you just use the little Chrome tab that the IDE gives you. But anyways, yeah, we have our page here. Some of the HTML things I changed were things like highlighting the text in black, because I thought it was a little easier to see against this background, which I also changed compared to the initial one. And I realized some of these carrots are still here that I need to remove, but that'll be an easy fix. So we have a page where we can subscribe to the newsletter, but the most important changes took place in this search recipe tab. So we can search for our recipe here, and for example, let's say I say barbecue. Maybe it's CUE. And we'll do Kansas City. And I click go, and this is going to give me a list of restaurants within Kansas City, some of which I've been to, that contain barbecue. So we can open this link in a new tab, and it will just guide us directly to the restaurant that it is referring to. And same for the recipes over here. Any of these recipes, those are some of the top hits based on barbecue. Peach whiskey barbecue chicken, that sounds pretty good. We'll go to that, and here we are, a recipe for peach whiskey barbecue chicken, all served to us through the two APIs we were given. Say I wanted to search for the same thing, but in Austin instead, Austin, Texas, that is. The recipes won't change, as those are still the top hits, but the restaurants are all restaurants within Austin, Texas. So arbitrarily, we can choose this brick oven restaurant, open this in a new tab, and we're guided to a restaurant way down here in Austin, Texas. So yeah, that's just a basic overview of what I did in this application to get it to work. and I will be seeing you guys next week in ICP7.